The dreams that I would have for our neighborhood would be very similar to the kind of neighborhood I grew up in, where we cared about each other and where we spent time and we knew each other.
Have a neighborhood that's interactive, where people are getting along with each other, where they're communicating with each other, and they're trying to make a difference.
To have a neighborhood that is healthy and active
is that it can be a place where I can walk out of my front door and see my neighbors and know my neighbors.
The kind of neighborhood I want to belong to is one that is invested in each other's lives.
Have that intentional aspect where they walk up to a neighbor and talk to them.
And where they help each other and are interested in each other's well-being.
Where everybody feels like they belong.
The neighbors, we know each other, we can speak to each other on a first name basis.
The number one thing I think that would be getting in the way of making a dream neighborhood like that, those kind of things, are technology.
And it's easier. It's easier to binge on Netflix. It's easier to stay connected to my phone. It's easier to not engage with the people around me because it's less likely that I'm going to be rejected.
I think community renewal helps because it helps bring people together.
It helps identify you as someone that wants to be part of the solution.
And understanding that you're not the only one going out and doing this, but it's kind of a movement.
And I feel that community renewal is a way to make a change, make a purposeful change.
Actually being open about it and saying it's okay to love your neighbor, it's okay to care about people.
At some point in time, you got to quit waiting for somebody else to do it. And this is community renewal. The idea of being a block leader says, okay, here's the opportunity. You've been saying this is the kind of community you want. All right, now you don't have an excuse to not do something.
It's a whole lot easier just to put a sign in my yard and say I care, but with the block leader piece, there's a little bit more accountability to it, and there's a little bit more responsibility with that.
It's a relationship, and when it comes to that relationship, we're making a commitment to you.
Well, what's at stake if we do nothing, I think, is a continuing deterioration of the relational fabric that really holds community together.
Our isolation continues to drive us to fear, and it continues to separate us from people who we perceive to not be like us.
The neighborhood that I want to see is utopia.
Willing,
Connected.
hopeful.
You know, go at it at your speed, but try to find out about it.
The power of connection is just untold, the ripples that it can make in the fabric of community.
First off, community renewal has great support. The group meetings where you're working with other block leaders so that you can get ideas.
If you already have some level of support, if you know your neighbors' names, you're already involved in community renewal. You just need a yard sign.